Man City return to Premier League action on Sunday when they travel to the Gtech Community Stadium to face Brentford. Now we are recording this before Man City's Champions League clash with Monaco in midweek, but City do come into this one after beating Burnley 5-1 in their last Premier League fixture last weekend.
Yeah.
As for Brentford, they are in high spirits after beating City's rivals Man United 3-1 on home soil last week. Their second win of the new season after 6 games. We've seen Brentford in recent years cause City a few problems. City have failed to win two of their last three visits to Brentford, including a 2-2 draw at the Gtech last season. But City are unbeaten in four against the Bees, both home and away in the Premier League. So, what do you think we can expect, Stephen, from this weekend's contest? A game that City will, of course, be looking to win.
I think City will win this. Brentford are a good side. Of course, they beat United at the weekend, which I enjoyed immensely. And they've still got an awful lot of quality and a structure and identity. Of course, they've lost an awful lot of players, a lot of quality, particularly their forward line. And of course, Norgard as well in midfield. They've lost some key parts of their whole identity, what made them such a formidable, Premier League side at times. But they're still they've still got quality there. Damsgaard and Uatara out wide and Shader and Henderson in midfield has been a decent signing for them. Vandenberg, Kelleher in goals been decent for them as well. Like they are a side that knows who they are, and Thiago scoring a couple of goals at the weekend for them against United will be a massive boost for them. And Keith Andrews, he looks like a decent manager. Well, he's not going to change the world for them or anything like that. And he's maybe not Thomas Frank, but he understands the assignment at least. And they've had a reasonably rough start, but they're always a side that will cause Manchester City problems because of the way they play. With the pace out wide and the skill and the organisation, they are the epitome of how the Premier League's changed, in my humble opinion, in terms of the ceiling being raised in terms of the demands, the expectations of how much a team has to run. And Brentford are a great example of that. So they will always give a side like Manchester City problems who want to pass the ball around and want to keep it because they've been built as the mirror image of that identity. So yeah, it's going to be difficult. I do look at City right now and feel in a place where I trust these players. I'm hoping if Rodri can't play Monaco, he should be okay for this one. We don't know, but as I say, maybe Kovacic should be back. And hopefully we're approaching this off the back of another win midweek. We don't know that yet, of course, but fingers crossed you would have. It's difficult to say because it's a week away and you never know what injuries may happen or suspensions or whatever. I guess not suspensions, but yeah, injuries could affect us. But City are in a place right now where we are, with the quality we've got with Doku and Haaland and securing goal with Donnarumma and Vardiol and Diaz, a good partnership. Yeah, we're in a place right now where I feel pretty confident this City side can grind out a win. It might not be sensational football without Rodri there because he knits it all together, but there's quality there. Foden and Doku were in incredible form, and Haaland's the best striker in the league. So yeah, I'm confident City could go there and win. It's also my dad's birthday, so they got it on that
Ah,
day. So there we go. Yeah,
nice. And I'm not sure how much you saw of Brentford's win against Man
I
United, but
didn't
do you think
catch it. No,
did you
no.
not know? So I think from what I've seen of Brentford, then I think there's obviously continued emphasis on set piece dominance and long throws generate goal scoring
Aggressive.
opportunities, if you like, and that's no surprise, of course, as was a set piece coach under Thomas Frank. But I think it's not just that. There's a lot of emphasis on playing high intensity football. They've got physical style, and I think they've recently as well been playing a lot of long balls forward over the top of defenses. I think you mentioned Jordan Henderson there. I think he's got 2 assists already where playing 40, 50-yard passes over the top of the defenses. And Thiago last week got the better of Maguire. He
Yeah.
was on the end of one of those. And so I guess considering that Man City play with a high line, that's something that maybe Man City will need to be wary of in this game against Brentford, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, no pace of Kusanov it will be a massive blow there because he's a sort of cheat code in shutting that down. City were quite willing against Arsenal to sit a bit deeper to allow for that, and I think that pragmatic side of Guardiola is shining through here. So yeah, I do think they'll allow for that and accept that we haven't got the recovery pace. Though Nunes is good defensively in terms of pace, but he's not alert as Kusanov. I think City will probably just sit a bit deeper and accept that if we can't keep the ball as well as we used to, as well, there's a higher chance of a turnover. And away at Brentford, yeah, you have to make some accommodations for that, and I think that's one of them.
Yeah, and this is City's final match before another international break. And so how important is it for City to sort of head into that on a high, push closer towards the top end of the table, maybe lay down a bit of a marker, a bit of a statement to sort of remind the rest of the league that City are sort of making positive signs in the right direction at the moment.
Yeah, like look, I think the results that we've got right now, the run of form that we're in is, as I was saying earlier on the call as well, like we haven't seen the final form of Manchester City right now. They are still integrating new players and players are coming back from injury, and we're still implementing new ideas as well. But if you can look, hypothetically speaking, if you can go from the Brighton game with a win against United, a win against Napoli, a great defensive performance against Arsenal, so unbeaten, then beat Huddersfield, then beat Burnley, and hopefully beat Monaco and then Brentford. That's a really impressive run of form. It's the statement that you need. And going into international break, where some players can have a rest, some players obviously can, focus internationally for their sides, but Guardiola can reassess with his coaches what's worked, what hasn't worked, do a little bit of training with those who aren't there, get after the break Shirky back and potentially ignore you, maybe you have Marmoush or so, people like that, Kusanov. Then you come back with in a great mood with a whole different set of tools as well. So yeah, it's huge this game for Manchester City because I don't think you ever want to lose before an international break. It sets a really negative mindset going into it. Of course, it'll be washed away by 2 weeks of international football, but I think where the City side are right now, it'd be a really positive step in the right direction for City to head into international break with that great run of form continuing.
Yeah, exactly. And finally, for this game, can I get a score prediction from you for City's
Um,
game against Brentford?
3-2 City. It's going to be they're going to score Brentford almost certainly because I think there's some weaknesses in the side, but we're going to outscore them because Haaland's going to Haaland's just going to score again because he's Haaland and that's what he's doing right now. So I'm going to say 3-2 City.